Next, we have Sean Benson.
Here we go. Thank you. Board members Clark Callahan, Brad Geiger, Tony Ryan, and most distracted Valerie Thompson were all on their phones during the first reading of this policy discussion. But Superintendent Aaron Kane, you take the cake for how much you were on their phone. And your PhD, Kelly Smith, who presented on this topic, was on 2 phones all night long. That's the kind of addict you're taking advice from. Here are the actual bills, executive orders, and policy recommendations from 35 states regarding device policies in schools. Guess how many have statewide bans? 1, you are being misinformed because no one here has actually read any legislation that was passed. I have. If you want to know what an actual ban looks like, get a job inside a SCIF. There's no exceptions there. We're talking about putting cell phone restrictions on our kids while the addicts in charge can't make it through this meeting without that dopamine hit. Remember that time you were ready for bed and you looked at your phone before you turned out the light and you couldn't go to sleep? Same thing is going to happen between classes for distracted kids before taking tests. It takes a monster to make a monster, and not having a bell-to-bell ban will create more monsters. Your digital smack addiction has turned you into soldiers recruiting our youth who are deceived by you burying the truth. You don't own your phone, it owns you. It has ultimate control over you. When you only allow addicts to get their fix between classes, you don't change anything. You just force mass consumption in short bursts. Rather than have kids actually socializing between classes, you will have phone zombies roaming the halls. And the phone isolates them from the real world, and you'll never see the real PTSD in isolation. That drug in your hand is how we die. This isn't like when the world is introduced to electricity, the telephone, radio, TV, or the internet. This is an addiction the world has never seen. Look around here tonight. All of humanity is addicted to this drug, and no one can live without it. This is full-scale wreckage. I'm sure I'm the only freak here who actually takes a phone Sabbath where your phone is off. And I don't mean going into the mountains where there's no signal. No, I mean just another day of the week where your phone is powered off. Does anyone here even know how to turn off your phone? Can you leave the house without it? Meta and Google are on trial right now for how addictive their platforms are to kids. But those corporations, they're just the street dealers. Let's put blame where blame is due. It is the parents who are the suppliers because no minor can sign a contract for their own phone plan. So I ask you, do you want to be a member of this digital drug cartel, or do you want to try to stop it? Every excuse you hear for phones in schools was already addressed 20 years ago before this drug ever existed. You're supposed to be the leaders in our education system. So lead by example. You already know what needs to be done. Be true leaders and do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benson.